All right. Hopefully, it starts to. All right. Looks like the stream has started, and nice. Okay, so everything's going now. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. A little bit late, but not too much. So, I decided to kind of change things around a little bit. Essentially, before I was sort of relying on what's called tail call optimization, and certainly not a bad thing, but I kind of decided that it might be better to go about it this way. So what I'm doing is I am using the forbidden goto in order to make this happen, which, from what I've read, is apparently a controversial decision, but certainly one that is used in certain cases. So I'm curious to see how this is going to turn out. It might end up coming back to bite me significantly, but I'm not disappointed with the results so far. One thing I do need to do here, though, is I need to go up here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change this to this macro to continue. And let's see. I guess we'll call it goto. And we'll have it take in a label. And that is going to advance the code, increase the length, and then execute goto label. And you'll notice I'm excluding that the very last semicolon because I'm basically treating these as function macros. Okay, let's go back down to where I was. Oh, nope, never mind. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'll go and replace this. So basically, continue is used when I'm getting kind of like the expected route, and then goto, or not goto, yeah, goto is going to be for when I need to go to a particular line. So let me just go ahead and replace this. So continue, and then this can all be replaced with goto. And that's just to kind of make it a little bit so I don't have to type quite as much, because you'll notice this sort of stuff is going to happen quite a lot. And the whole increment code, increment the length, and then move to somewhere, or increment code, increment length, and then continue on to the next switch statement. Both of those things are going to happen on a somewhat frequent basis. So I'm going to go ahead and create some macros to help ease the pain of typing and the potential mistakes that may arise as a result. So we'll just go through and replace that. So I'm sure that a significant number of people are probably a bit confused by what all of this means. If you have questions, please do, leave like a live chat or whatever, and just ask me questions about what I'm doing. I'm not going to explain everything straight away, but if you do have questions, I'd be happy to explain kind of what I'm doing, or at least try to. But if there are no questions, then I'll just keep going, essentially. Okay. Okay. Actually, I think I might rename goto because I don't want to necessarily make it. I don't want to have to be able to distinguish between the uppercase and lowercase. So let's go back here real quick. I'll change this to advance. That'll be a bit more obvious what's going on there. Okay, let's see. So this can be changed to advance, and we're going to go to the end. And let's go ahead and get this out of the way. There. Here, just go ahead and default. Default might not be the best way to word that. I'm going to do, or actually, we'll do start and end. So lex start, and then end will be the end of it. One sec here. There. Okay. I don't think I need to have that be repeatedly called. That should only be called once. What else? Length. Now that's getting incremented, so I need to make sure that that's being fixed. Okay. And that shouldn't be goto, I forgot that. There. Advance. There. Okay. And I can't quite do it like that, so go that. Token start column, and then go to start. So then in this case, this is a pretty unusual event, so I'll just leave it as that without turning it into some kind of macro. And then this length here can go at the top and not have to be reset. Okay. Okay. I think that's everything I need to do there. So we just go ahead and rename these. So advance. Now I don't have to delineate between upper and lowercase gotos. Yeah. This will be replaced with advance for the moment, but this is technically not correct. Right now, I'm parsing a very, very, very small subset of the grammar, but that will be expanded here as we move on. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Go to async. That's fine. Go to ID. It's also fine for the moment. Let's change this. Oh, actually, that shouldn't be go to. That should be advance. Excuse me. Just make sure to replace all those. And before I go much further here, I'm going to test this just to make sure things are working properly. And this should be advance as well. And once again, this one's going to the ID. A lot of keywords are going to end up advancing to the ID lexing part of this, assuming they don't quite get properly lexed. So, yeah, here's one. So this is a case where I'm essentially looping, but instead of using the while loop construction, I'm just doing this. Since I'm already using gotos, I'm basically just taking advantage of that. And then, as you can see here at the end, this is just making sure that the end column is updated properly, and then it returns success. I don't think I actually have to have it return anything, practically speaking, but I'm already, it's already been there. I'm not going to remove it just yet. I might end up needing it for some reason. I don't know. But, okay. I think I did everything. I replaced everything that I think I needed to. So let's go ahead. Let me just go here real quick. Yeah, I think that's everything. Okay. So let's go ahead and test this. Make, let's see, async undeclared. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and open that up. Once again, very thankful that I went to the effort of making my editor able to recognize line numbers. So it's going to make this a lot easier. There's going to be a lot of stuff in this, and a lot of lines of code in order to recognize all the various keywords and stuff. So, where is that? That's 130, 138. Let's see what we got. Hold on. Expected at end of input. Declaration or statement. Yeah, hold on a sec here. There's a couple things I need to fix. First off, let's see. Okay. All right, well, I'm going to ignore that. Hold on. So first and foremost, I'm going to go here real quick. Just going to go ahead and, oops, here we go. Go to maybe let's start, just so I don't have that warning. I don't want to have to go and suppress that, so it'll be fine. Okay, let's see, what else? So we've got those there. Ah, that's why. Hold on. Got the closing brace right there. That's what's going on. Nice. Right, and I went ahead, so I've got this test binary here, but I'm starting to work on the CLI, the command line interface for this. So if I go ahead and I go bin/CLI, it's going to open up this interpretive environment. And if I enter as, it's going to recognize, so this is the as token, which is basically casting. If you've used TypeScript, you know what that is. It recognizes the new line token because whenever you press enter in the CLI environment, it appends a new line. And then EOF is just the end of file. It's pretty obvious. If I do ASY, it should return an identifier. It does, but then it fumbles the new line character, which is unfortunate. So I'm going to have to figure out how to fix that here. But it does give me the EOF token. Let's go ahead and do this and see what it does. And same basic problem. Haven't fully recognized those. Let's go ahead and enter an A, and you'll notice now it's an identifier. So the main problem I'm having here is just that new lines are not being recognized in identifiers. So that's something I'm going to have to fix. But I'm going to go ahead and exit out of that. Let's go, I think, somewhere around here. This is where the ID stuff is happening. Okay. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to add in case new line. I'm also going to put in tabs because those are also invalid. I should probably add in a bunch of other stuff because, of course, there's lots of potential cases for this. In fact, what I might do is put all of these in default and only get the things that are not valid for an identifier. That might be easier because there's the possibility of using Unicode characters. I hadn't really made that like I'm not gonna like make that a significant thing, but it is theoretically possible, and I don't see why that should be excluded. And actually, now I'm curious. Okay. Okay, cool. So yeah, there are plenty of languages that allow you to use Unicode characters as type names. So identifiers generally. So I think I want to allow that. And if that's the case, then I'd be better off going with that instead. Yeah, okay. So what I'll do, first off, I'm just going to go ahead and delete all this real quick. There. And then this is going to be changed to advance yd lex id. So we still have an easy way to get out of it using spaces, and then I'm going to have to go through and specify a bunch of cases for other stuff. So let's say, for example, there's an and character there. That means I'm going to have to advance to yd lex and. All right. And that's something I'm going to have to put in, and that's going to come after keywords. So I'll go ahead and do, let's see, operators, yd lex and. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So here, do switch code case. The main one to worry about for the moment is equal sign, because it's either going to be and or and equals. The default is going to be let's see, it's not going to increase the size or anything, it's just going to exit straight away. So I'll do goto id lex end. And here it's going to, oh, and I should probably make sure that type here is correct. So it would be token type equals yd_tt and. And this is going to be slightly different. So this one's going to use advance because it's going to increase the position. Still going to the end though. And it's also going to make the token type. Oh, oops. And equals. Okay. Nice. All right. So, let's see. So I'm going to have to go through that for all of those. Let me just kind of show you guys for how a keyword would work. And actually, this should recognize the entire keyword, unless I'm mistaken. So this last one is actually going to call advance. That's going to move us to the end. Okay. All right. So go ahead and put in here literals and move up to the top here. So this lex start is just going to be the overarching thing, and then so this is going to be keywords. Operators, I'll also put in things like delimiters here, but I'll do that in a minute. I think that is everything. Okay. Make sure to compile it, and then we'll run the CLI. So if I do AS, it's going to do that. If I do async, that's wrong. Okay. So it's not recognizing async, but it is at least getting the new line stuff correct. Hold on. What am I forgetting? Let's go here. Forgetting the token type. So YDTT async. Jeez. There we go. Sure to compile that. And I should probably go ahead and change some of this because I don't necessarily, I mean, no, never mind. Never mind. I'm not going to continue that. All right, AS works, async, that works too. Let's try and does that work? Not quite. But if I were to do something like ASY ampersand, okay, that is not correct. So why is it doing that? I think I might know. Yeah. Jump there. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Okay, that's why. So we just want to do a goto instead of advance. Advance, as I mentioned before, advances everything. And obviously that's not what we want. And actually, in this case, we want this to end. So in fact, we want to put in operators there. Because what's going to happen is the operator is going to be, like, that's going to signal the end of the identifier. And then we'll move to the next iteration. Because the CLI here goes through every single token that it can get its hands on before the end of the file. Once it reaches the end of the file, it shuts off, or it doesn't shut off, but it allows you to enter in a new set of characters. So let's go ahead and compile. Defined but not used. Okay, if that's the case, I know why. So here, I'm going to go ahead and just take a quick look here. I'm sure this is something that isn't going to matter, but let me just Look at this real quick. See if we can get some. Okay, yeah. So the operators typically come before. So let's do it like this. Okay. Case ampersand go to and I should advance yd lex and. I'm sure you can tell exactly why most of the time when people do this, they do not do this by hand, because this is rather annoying to deal with. Let's go and do ASY and ampersand. Okay, that's still wrong. Why is it doing that? Okay, so that's slightly better. It's not like correct, but it is slightly better. Okay. Let me actually, I'm going to put a break here, or separation there. Okay, now, so it's advancing, it's moving to lex and. The problem there is oh, wait a minute. Okay, this is actually wrong, technically. It shouldn't be doing that. What it should be doing is checking. Oops. Jeez, can't type. Yeah, it should just be advancing here. Not advancing, sorry, continuing. Because otherwise, it might be doing is we would have async and then, something like, async underscore await, right? Just as a stupid example that really shouldn't exist, but it's possible for it to exist. This would not be a keyword. It shouldn't be. But if I were to keep things as it were, then that would be what it would do. So I just want to do continue. Oops. Continue. That. So, oh, uh-oh, we got a little bug there. Hold on. So here. Okay. Now, check the following. And you know what? I might, let's see, I should probably, I might make that into a macro, but we'll wait and see if that's something that I need to do. I probably do. Like, check keyword end, maybe? Or maybe there's some way to use that to generate switch statements repeatedly. That might be good, but I'll worry about that later. Now, let's go through, get all of the major breaking things here. Okay. Token type. IDTT async. And go to lex end. And all of these will do that. Let's see. Yeah, this actually should go in here. Hold on. this should go here, because that is a valid, like it's not syntactically valid, but it is lexically valid. I think that's the correct terminology. Basically, it is possible for tokens to be arranged in that manner, lexically speaking. But once the parser goes through, it'll be like, oh, that's invalid. You shouldn't have an ampersand next to an async. Those aren't things that really work together. Now, go here, and then this is going to be the default. Oops. Advance ID lex. Oops. Lex ID. There. Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Oh, let's go ahead and do that, and then run this. Okay. So there we go. Got those being broken up into separate tokens, which is correct. Let's try async, because that should also work just fine. Make sure I've got the correct characters. Yep. Okay. Cool. And okay, so there's a slight problem here. This should not be happening. So I think I need to actually go to the tests CLI real quick. Okay. I know, actually. We're going to go to here, and this is going to, before the wrong place. Wrong lexer file. Okay, here we go. So this is going to, let's see. Yeah, okay. So token start equals token end. So this doesn't need to, well, I guess it kind of does. Kind of does need to be there. Yeah, it does. Okay. I guess. It really doesn't, though. Hold on. We'll just do it this way. It's not any more difficult to do it like this, so we'll just make sure both of them are incremented. There we go. All right. I think that should be fine. Okay. So now let's go to, I think, I think I need to go in here as well. So, needs to have space, new line, and also tab. And I do think I need to make a macro that does this automatically. Like complete keyword or something like that. And then I could just put all of these sorts of things in there. Right? I think that would make plenty of sense. Oh, wait a minute. I know what's going on. Hold on. Hold on. I think I know why things are being weird. Where is it? Where are you? Here we go. Maybe, is that it? No. Token type. No, okay, so that's going to the end. No, that's not it. Never mind. Okay. Okay, we've got an identifier with the value of A and with a value of ampersand, yes, and space ampersand, actually. Ooh, that's interesting. I wonder what's going on there. Okay, that is incorrect. So why is it doing that? Async ampersand async space ampersand, and it's doing the same thing. Okay, so what is going on here? Interesting. Okay. Okay. Okay, so ace. Okay, so that's working. Oh, oops. I need to. Jeez, I need to make some adjustments to the CLI because I don't want to have to deal with that. Yeah, okay. So something to do with the spaces there is screwing things up, so I can fix that. But it looks like the async issue might be fixed. Actually, let's test that real quick. What's it? ASY and then ampersand. Okay, so that's still wrong. Let's go to lexer goto. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and make that macro I was talking about because this is going to happen often enough that it's probably worth it. Let's do. What is it? End keyword, I guess. And that's going to take type and the actual code is going to be what is it? Case null. let's see, hang on a minute here. Our case, oh, let's see. Our cases, new line sensitive, because I want to make sure that it doesn't screw with things if I do this. Let's see if that helps. Okay, well, I'm just going to test this and see if this works. I'll test it on one part first. Case, tab, case, new line, case, ampersand. And that is going to, hold on. Just go check real quick. Okay, it's going to set the token type to the type and then go to end. Okay. Token type, nope. Token type, not token token. Okay. Token type equals type. Go to ID lex end. Okay, let's go here real quick and let's go like this, and I'm just going to go ahead and just clear all of this out. So this is for async. I'm going to test it here first. We'll see if this functions properly. Nope, don't want to copy. End keyword IDTT async. Oops. Cool. In error, a token has no member. Let's see, macro event expansion. I think that might be it. Okay. Twist will not expand. Okay, so that's probably what I need to do. So go here and then go all the way. I should have just hit end. But I think this should be okay. Let's try that. Expected identifier. Okay, we'll just change this to this. So token underscore type. Didn't realize that was a concern, but apparently it is. Just another reason why macros in C kinda suck. Okay. Let's try. Okay. Sync. Seems to work. Okay, cool. Excuse me. Okay, that's still wrong. Okay. Okay. How do I make this happen? All right, well, we'll try. Let's go ahead and do some macros here. ID, TT, D. And I might actually change this to end word so that it's less, because it's not technically always keywords that get that treatment. That could also be identifiers. So we'll do it like this. Okay. Now, things are being weird. How do I make this work? Go to, that's fine. Okay. And actually, this can leave. I don't need this now. Just clear that out. Just go through all the rest of this. And then end word. ID, TT, AS. There we go. Much easier that way. Okay. Continue. That's fine. Okay. TTID. Just do that. Okay. Okay. Maybe that's why. And word. Why? It could be part of the reason why. Let's. I think this would be ID to start with. But basically, until it reaches the end, it's going to be ID. ID, TT, ID. And actually, I should probably call this like check word. That's more clear as to what it's actually doing. It's not ending the word per se. I mean, it kind of is. Checking for the end. And if it finds the end, then it just does its thing. Okay. Check word, that's fine. Let's go through, replace all those. Okay. Let's call it check word there. Okay. And that, call that. Okay. So if I do A, that's fine. A space. Oh, I didn't mean to do uppercase. Either way, that's wrong. Okay. Let's try ASY. It's an identifier, which is correct. ASYN, still an identifier. ASYNC. That is a keyword. Okay, now I need to figure out why that stupid thing keeps reporting spaces, because it shouldn't be. Okay. And we're nearing the end of the hour, which is unfortunate. Didn't realize it was take that quite that long. Okay. Let's see. Okay, all that is let's see, it goes to the start. Okay, then switch, and it discovers that it's an and. Then it goes to that. Alt. Let's go to the token printing function real quick. Okay. New line. Do want it to this stuff real quick. Oops. And in fact, we'll go like this. Okay. And I kind of want it to tell me about okay, key. Let's see, token.lexeme. I want to know what that lexeme is and what it's doing. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Space and there. Okay. Okay, so it's not properly advancing. Why is that not happening? Let's see, as starts. As space equals. Oh, interesting. So that works. The other doesn't. Okay. Let's see. Go to, and then hmm. Okay, well, I'm not sure how to fix that. Yeah, I'm very confused as to why it's not working. Okay. All right, well, I am going to go ahead and leave it there. Made some progress. This is going to be a bit of a time-consuming effort, but I think, I mean, at the very least, it'll be very interesting to do. And from what I've read, this is a way to implement a very fast lexer. So, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you again tomorrow. Have a great day.